made a video discussing all of the recent Sonic leaks and how they could be potentially real, but there has been a bunch of things that technically have been consistent with these leaks, and I want to discuss it in this video. Also, sorry if I'm a little bit quiet because, you know, obviously it is very late for me right now, and I just thought this is really important to, like, comment on. So, you know, if you do happen to like me as a person or this video in general, make sure to like and subscribe. This video is gonna be very short, but even though it's late, I've got to do this for the dedication, because genuinely, I don't think I've been more excited in my life. I could not wait until tomorrow to, like, talk about this stuff, and I want you guys to have a discussion about all of these leaks in general. I want to have one video substantively. This will be the last video we speak about leaks, unless, like, it's been confirmed or Daniel RPK speaks about a specific, like, leak or rumor in general. So we're going to hop right into this. Now, this video has some new content, but most of it is from the previous video, but there has been, like, a bunch of, like, confirmation, or, like, I guess you could say a lot of people are believing that we will be seeing some particular aspects, because every single leak we've seen has had things that have been very similar in them. Has had a Sonic Unleashed remaster, or some things to do with Amy and Knuckles, and it's just really awesome. So yeah, we're going to go straight into this, but first off, before we speak about that, there is a brand new Sonic animated series in the works, and this is by Daniel RPK, which means that it's most likely going to be truthful, because he's actually quite a credible leaker, and he's predicted a bunch of stuff regarding Sonic Movie 3, so I want to know what you guys would think about the whole new Sonic animated series, because I'm really excited to see this come into fruition. Now, the next thing we've got is from Sonic Movie Updates. Since it's February, should we expect Sonic Movie 4 title treatment announcement this month? They previously announced a title for the past two movies, and then also, you know, within February, with the rumored filming in Vancouver next month, this is probably a good time to announce some news. Now, at the end of this video, I want you guys to check out my Sonic Movie 4 news dive, because I have a bunch of information regarding, like, filming sites, locations, and just general leaks about the film in general. I did that back in November or December, I think. And then also make sure you check out the leak video if you haven't already, because it kind of goes into a deep dive. We're gonna not be going into, like, the leak specifically, but we'll be going into a couple of features that are most likely going to happen in regards to Frontiers 2. So sorry this video is sort of all over the place. If you want to see, like, a properly, like, energetic and formatted video, go and check out my previous video that will be at the end, in the end card. Okay, so this now is actually really awesome. You see this leak that we went over yesterday, for example, Sage returns, couple of characters like Bill, Blaze, Tangle, and Whisper, and, like, voice work. So basically, you see this whole leak. The reason why people think that some of these leaks are real is because they're very consistent across every single leak. So, for example, here you can see that there are 5 leaks that point to similar things. So, for example, the Unleashed remaster has been described. Here we go here with an open world Amy expansion, a Knuckles Werehog style expansion, and Shadow and Knuckles Speed and Werehog expansion. So I want to know what you guys all think of this, because genuinely, the fact that they all line up with the exact same thing does point to the idea that this holds a lot of credibility. You also have to remember that when the Frontiers leaks came out, there was, like, a huge array of leaks. Even though some of them didn't get everything right, the leaks that had all of the same things noted in them did happen. Like, for example, with cyberspace and the open world, you know, innovation with Sonic going in that open world direction. If you guys remember that from 2022, when a lot of Sonic tubers were discussing leaks regarding Frontiers. So this whole, like, open world Amy expansion, or, like, other characters, and, you know, the whole Unleashed remaster, the fact that this has been put everywhere gives us, like, a really confident assertion that this Unleashed remaster is going to be hitting our screens this year, which is really awesome to speak about. And also here, like the Frontiers leak, I think this is partly true but not fully, as the Frontiers leaks had some truth and falsifiety in them, but also the demo could be very early beta and just an idea that Sonic Team has and not just the real game. I also want to note that all of these leaks have been having the same title, and that has been Sonic Eclipse. Now, they've all noted Sonic Unleashed as a remaster and this whole Sonic Eclipse game, which is really awesome, which shows that there is some sort of internal consistency with these leaks. Now, generally, it could just be someone that's made, like, 4 different leaks, but the fact that we've had so many different leaks from 4chan regarding the first game, for Sonic Frontiers, there was, like, a lot of credibility regarding them, because a lot of things did deem to be true. So to give you a general scoop, I believe we're going to be getting some Crossworlds content released at the State of Play. I think we're going to be getting that Sonic Unleashed Definitive Edition at the State of Play, or if not, we'll be getting a Sonic Central announcement, which will be really, really awesome, so we can see the next mainline title. Things regarding, like, Sonic X Fortnite, which I did discuss in the previous video, so it's just going to be really awesome. I felt like I had to make this video because it's a direct, like, sort of, like, idea that correlating all of these points, they actually do point towards at least some of these things being true, which is is really awesome, and I'm actually really excited because there's one thing where a leak just says something, but then if you have 4 leaks that are all corroborating the same idea, like saying the same thing, you actually get really excited that this can become a reality. This also holds credibility because Amy as a playable extra character would make a lot of sense, considering that Amy in Sonic Unleashed is pretty much the only important character. Like, yeah, sure, Tails is part of Unleashed, but she is kind of that character that works with Sonic and Professor Pickle, so it would make a lot of sense for her to have our own separate sections because she is deeply involved within Sonic's dilemma. For example, when she meets Sonic when he's in the werewolf form and like Sonic runs away because he's fearful. So it'll be really awesome to see that sort of Amy gameplay, and the fact that they already have an engine based on Amy in the final horizon of Sonic Frontiers, so it would make a lot of sense in regards to having more characters. And actually Nakamura also did confirm that they want to expand the Sonic universe with more characters in general having gameplay. And also Kishimoto does want a game with multiple playable Sonic characters, and I feel like the Final Horizon was a direct representation of how they could start like working on these characters and then obviously flush them out and develop them in the next mainline title. So, you know, obviously they don't have to use as much budget to make these characters engines straight away. Because the blueprint for Tails, Knuckles, and Amy is literally there. They just need to polish a couple things and then obviously add a load of moves to like truly make their characters perfect, and then obviously just change the models as well, because the models in obviously the Final Horizon just aren't very great. I also want to make it very clear that I don't think we're going to be getting Frontiers 2 this year. I think we're going to be getting the reveal of the game, Sonic Eclipse, and then we'll be getting the game next year, but I think we'll be definitely getting some sort of game. Definitely, I feel like it points towards this Sonic Unleashed remaster this year, which would be really awesome to see, and I'm actually super excited to see how SEGA and Sonic Team are able to execute it, because for a couple of reasons. The first one is obviously because Sonic Unleashed has a very tarnished reputation, and being able to see it get like a 90 on Metacritic will be just so amazing. I think a lot of people will just finally be like, wow. And I think they're probably going to do a couple of things like they say in these leaks, for example, reducing the amount of medals that you need in order to progress in the game, and also just adding some variety with the whole werehog system, because obviously I feel like that does like making it optional would make the most sense, because if you just have the werehog just constantly in your face, then obviously some journalists won't like that. Personally, I love the werehog, but I do understand that if you want to appease the critics, you want to be able to make that optional just in case, and obviously the way that you would be able to like substantiate that, like to, you know, obviously fill it, would be to make a whole Amy campaign. And it'd be really cool to see like the interaction between Amy and Sonic, and just see, and apparently this whole Unleashed remaster is supposed to have no rewrite according to these leaks, which is really awesome actually. So I'm actually super excited to see Jason Griffith just completely unchanged, and I hope there's no like Ian Flynnifying. But yeah, let me know what you think of all of this. I had to make this video. I know it's very short, and I know there's not really much in it, but it's just the fact that there's like this confirmation inside of this that there's like consistent things across every single leak, and I want to know what you guys think of it. Please, if you haven't already, check out this video, because this one, it contains all the information that you need to know, but this one's sort of like a secondary video which sort of like follows up, because I saw this and I was like, wow, I'm actually really excited for this. So make sure to like and subscribe only if you like me as a person, and I'll check you guys out later.